Statistics show that within 10 minutes of being on the street, they are approached by a trafficker.
Victims, survivors have to self-identify, have to be able to say this is what's happening to me, and a lot of times they're not.
One young girl I met most recently went to a private Catholic school, and she met a new young boy at school. He drove her home one day after a number of conversations, and that's how her nightmare began. He wanted to stop at a friend's house before he drove her home. She knew she shouldn't have done it, and she went inside with him, and she was trafficked for 3 years after that. She was almost moved to a different state each week.
The human trafficker is not creepy. They don't look creepy, they're not skeet. They're in nature and what they do, they're evil and creepy, but they don't look evil and creepy.
So there's not one true mold that you could say this is why they were trafficked or how they were trafficked. Each case is different.
And the last report, the hub for picking up and grabbing young girls and boys is the King of Prussia Hall, which is barely 2 miles away. So it is happening in our neighborhood, it is happening here. So educating people, and if you educate them and build their empathy, then we can work on changing laws.
The average age for entry in the United States is between the ages of 13 and 14. These traffickers are professionals. They know what to say. They start buying presents for them. They fall in love with them. They profess love, and then they're trafficked. Some are drugged. Some are beaten. Some are held captive. So it's very different. Many times food is withheld from them just to help them be more compliant. Drugs are administered to them. They're beaten. 3 victims that I worked with were pregnant. Gotten pregnant, they don't know who the father was. Many of the times it's the pimp who is the father. And again, it's another form of control. They might have the child, and then he has total control of that child, and that's another reason for her to stay in that lifestyle, not to try to get away. The last 3 victims I worked with were trying to keep the child. They had been rescued. They were out of the lifestyle. And we were able to, through our Cabrini Closet efforts, collect clothing for the children and gift cards. And there is government funding they can depend on. The Cabrini Closet was formed during one of my visits to the Philadelphia Coalition meeting.
Cabrini Cottage offers a wide selection of fashionable clothing to those that are survivors of human trafficking.
Being here at the college, it was easy because we were able to collect young people's clothing. We asked for more trendy clothing, designer clothing that any young person would be proud to wear. Many of them pray. Many of them have mentioned to me that that's what has helped them to hold on, their faith in God. There's even a drop-in center in Philadelphia where young girls can go to just have 10 minutes of peace and get a shower, get something to eat. Most of the time their pimp is right outside the facility watching them and keeping an eye on them, but there's kind of been a trust built up, and they are offered help if they want to get out of the lifestyle. But they have to be ready. Most of the girls I've met were escaping from abusive families, but many of the girls were used to a man in the family abusing them, both mentally and physically.
Just educating people what human trafficking is, what domestic violence is, sexual assault, stalking, what it is, that is happening.